Ags, I'll start with an injury question. I know Gino on the ice. Is that anything to be concerned about, or just a day off?
Yeah, just a maintenance day for him.
Hi, Gary. You guys obviously have a lot of minutes for your defensemen right now. What gives you the confidence in a young guy like Derrick Pouliot, and how you think he's been handling it so far, and what do you want from him moving forward?
Yeah, you know what? I think he's progressing in the right direction. To use the term that they're using, all using now, he's trending in the right direction. Certainly watching guys like Paul Martin and Rob Scuderi play and learning from those guys both on the ice and on the bench. A lot of communication going on there. Trying to help him out, but I think he's fitting in real nicely. I think, the way he jumps up in the play and makes plays, he gets us out of trouble quickly. Still a few areas, obviously, he needs to get better at, but it's coming with experience.
Eggs, kind of a unique situation with only the 5 defensemen for game nights. Have you ever been a part of anything like this at the NHL level, and how does it change your approach and how you go about coaching these guys, how they handle it?
Yeah, not really. So it's kind of new, other than the fact that we had to do it a few days ago in Phoenix, I think it was. So, just trying to manage their minutes as best we can. Still trying to get the proper matchups when we can, and using the timeouts as much as we can to our benefit to get the guys rested. But short shifts, changing one guy at a time. Sort of mixing and matching and doing the best we can. So, but again, the guys are handling it really well. And same, they're making the right changes. We're getting off early, and certainly the forwards have done a great job as well, making sure that they're coming back and not letting our D get into too much trouble.
Alex, with the Flyers in tomorrow, what do you guys need to do in that game to have sort of a better showing against them here at home?
Well, again, I think at this time of year, it's about us. We've got to make sure that we've got our game fine-tuned to where it has to be, heading obviously into the last couple of weeks and into the playoffs. And tomorrow night's just another, it's a fine-tuned game for us. Make sure that our forechecks are working properly, make sure that we're communicating, make sure that the systems that we have in place are all where they need to be. But certainly good starts always help us, so I think that's probably first and foremost.
Gary, I know that there is a contingency out there in a worst-case scenario if somebody else goes down. Can you talk about the little meeting tryout or anything like that with Winnick, Adams, Spaulding, and Sutter? And who would be the guy? Have you been able to determine who would be the guy that you would have to use in an emergency situation?
Do I have to answer that?
No, you're
No,
not the
I'm
coach.
kidding.
You're the acting
Yeah.
coach. You don't have to answer anything.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, I think certainly we went after the penalty killers. The guys that are really solid on the defensive side. So as you mentioned, Winnick, Spaulding, Adams, and all guys are enthusiastic about giving it a whirl. And I told them, in fact, that in the old days we used to make the defense play forward and the forward to play defense just to get everybody to appreciate the position. And so Winnick's certainly at the top of the list. Adams, Spaulding, all those guys. But I hope that we don't get into that situation for sure.
Gary, you guys start in September, you go 5 months, and then you get to the final 2 weeks, and sometimes you see teams in that stretch develop good habits or bad habits. From a coaching staff perspective, how challenging is the navigation of the final 2 weeks of a regular season, knowing that the playoffs are ahead?
Well, again, I think you have to make sure that you're taking care of business as your team goes through the whole season, and I think we've done a reasonable job and making sure that the players know exactly what we want from them. Now, the last 2 weeks of the season, you want to start to ramp it up. So we would like to continue to push in the areas that we need to push, but keeping in mind, of course, that you got to still pick up points and do the right things as you move along. So. And then there's these types of things, the injuries that you have to deal with. So you got to be really careful with how you handle everyone's minutes and handle every situation that presents itself. But I think again the team has gotten enough detailed play that they understand the details of the game, and then it's a matter of us ramping it up for that playoff type atmosphere.
Gary, two, if I can, just any update on Chris or Christian at all?
No, nothing. Sort of business as usual, status quo. I think they continue to monitor them, but no updates, no.
And will Mike be available tomorrow? Mike Johnson.
As far as I know, yeah.